Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Hello. Hello.
Was the hello for me?
No.
Because I
Hello
just
everyone.
wasn't sure anymore.
I can see 4 people are watching already. Okay, the
Okay.
live stream has started. Let me remove this. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing me for the first time, welcome. And I'm so happy to have you people here. If you're watching live, thank you very much. And please indicate by chat, sending your questions in the chat box, in the live chat box. And if you're hearing us well, if you're seeing us properly, please indicate, tell me yes.
I like it when it has borders.
Really?
Yeah, my head is big enough already.
My own is bigger than yours already. I can see from the
Please just
screen
make
that
me
my
have
head is
borders.
bigger than yours.
Move us back. Move us back.
I'm even using my screen as mirror. Let me try this.
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
But then this is my untidy bookshelf. Let me see.
Exactly. And do you know one thing? People who are watching on their mobile devices, they're going to see us so tiny. So,
Ah.
yep.
Okay,
So
we'll
let's go
manage our
back
big
to,
heads.
we're already beautiful.
Oh my god. Do you have two lights?
Yes, I
I'm trying
have
to
I have them
decipher what.
like this. One here, and they're not directly before me.
Okay.
Yeah. So welcome everyone. And today, for the first time on my channel, I have my sister-in-law, my younger brother's wife, Dr. Ezinne Meribe. Dr. Ezinne Okoro Meribe.
Hi.
Dr. Ezinne is a medical doctor, and she also has a master's in public health. And she's also enrolled in a PhD program. So as you can see, my brother's wife is better than yours.
Hey, wahala for who don't get brother's wife.
Yes, so my brother's wife is better than yours. So you better recognize and treat me with respect because me and you were not on the same level. Okay?
Yes, kid. Yes, kid. Told them. Told
So
them.
Dr. Ezine, welcome to my channel. And let me tell you something. Dr. Ezine is, I don't call her Dr. Ezine normally. I call her Ezine. So she's actually one of the people who encouraged me to start a YouTube channel because most of the times we stay on phone, we talk about issues, life issues,
We
about
talk for 4 hours.
relationships. Eh?
For 4 hours.
So hours. One day she told me we need to start either writing a book or recording our discussions. Because she thinks we
Yeah.
are not supposed to be the only 2 people participating or hearing our discussions. So most of the deep things we talk about, we are going to bring them back to you because doing a live video makes everything so spontaneous. You don't think about anything, and the first answer you give is the honest answer.
Yeah.
Why I'm kind of scared of doing a live video because when you make a mistake, when you overstep your bounds, because we're human beings, we could make mistakes. You can't change your this thing. You can't you don't have a second time to correct it. In a recorded video edit, you can edit some of the things you don't like, even when you make mistakes in grammar, because I don't know why my camera intimidates me so much. Sometimes I sit down in front of my camera and I wonder if I know how to speak English anymore because I continue making mistakes and repeating the same words over and over. So We are going to put ourselves out there and make this live video. We know we're going to make mistakes. Please forgive us in advance. Please don't come for our head. But that doesn't mean we're not going to be frank to say what we think. So, Izzy, greet my subscribers.
Hello, good afternoon, all my subscribers. Okay, hello everyone. Hi Ebere, hi Nkechi, hi Chuma, hi. Okay, that's Nkechi, Ebere, and Chuma. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I can't see the other people who are live, but if you're live, just say hello. If you're here for me, say hello, hello, so I'll know that you're here for me. I'm glad to be here. Really, really glad to be here. So I would have started talking already about our relationship, but I guess that's why we're here. So let's start talking.
Okay. And really, Ezine is the first person I'm bringing onto my channel because we have such candid discussions. And over the years, we've been able to grow our relationship in a way that I don't even see her as my brother's wife anymore. I just see her as my little sister, just like my other two sisters. We talk to each other about almost everything. And I thank God. First of all, I'm grateful to God, Az, that you came into our family
Oh, where's
and you
my
became
tissue?
one of us. Don't start, eh? Don't even
Where's
start
my
crying now.
tissue?
And you became one of us, and I see you as my sister. And I don't know, I just love you like a sister. And sometimes, God forbid, when I think about it, I say, even if something happens to your relationship with my brother, God forbid, I reject it in Jesus'
It's
name.
Jesus' name.
That I'm still going to keep on having a relationship with you. And above all, you are the mother of my two adorable nieces. And there's
Oh,
nothing that
mama.
can change that. So, welcome to the channel. So, everybody watching with us, thank you very much for tuning in. I can see you. And let me get the questions we have already so that this live stream doesn't go on and on for hours. And I have some questions already. And please give me your own questions to send us your questions. Okay? Is it questions or questions?
Questions. Maybe some people say questions, Sha, but that's fine.
I'm going to say it my own way. English has different versions. Okay, the first question is this. Question. Okay. The first question is this. Our first impression of each other. Isn't it go first? I have to think.
Hmm. Okay, so my first impression, the first time she called me, I was somewhere on the mainland, one of those crazy places. I was crossing the road. It was a December. So most likely December 2011 was the first time she called me. And she was sounding so auntie-ish and saying things like, how is the wedding going? How are you planning? Something, something, something. I'm like, oh my God. Jeez, I'm done. I hate phone calls naturally. And then I married my husband who does not even like phone calls. So it's gotten worse over time. So I'm like, get off the phone. I don't even know you. And then I was crossing the road, answering that phone call. It was very uncomfortable. But I think what I didn't know how to do then was to say, please, can I call you back? Or please, can you call me back at so, so, so and so time, right? We didn't have a relationship and I didn't want to sound rude. But I was under pressure answering that phone call. So I don't even think I was saying anything or responding. I must have just been saying, oh, okay, all right. And I think I also had some expectation, like saying, oh, what can I help you do or something like that. I don't know if I had that expectation, but for some reason I was under pressure on that phone call. Then the second time I now met her in person was during the wedding. She was just happy go lucky. She was everywhere. It was also like a family reunion, less of my wedding. So that one too had its own quanta. No, there was no quanta. Like I felt like it was more of a reunion than my wedding, but that's okay. Then after the wedding, we were all traveling back. Okay, even before the wedding, we met. She was just so jovial and everything. And then after the wedding, we're now going back, and she's like, "Oh, Chukwudi, go and stay at the back with you. Chukwudi, go and stay in front with my husband. Me, I'll stay at the back. Men
My
stay in
husband
front."
was
And me,
driving, right?
yes, I mean, I was in that mood where I'm like, I just got married. I want to sit beside my husband. And then this person did not even ask my opinion. I moved my husband to the front. I'm like, okay, we're in for this. So I think that was it. And I didn't have any other impressions anymore. But over time, I can't remember when we started talking. Maybe when I moved to Japan was when we now started talking regularly. But over time, that first impression has been completely erased, whitewashed. We've cleaned the wall, we've painted it, we've even decorated the room.
Even on your wedding day, we had a lot of fun. You remember?
Yeah, because you were a fun person, right?
Yeah.
You are not a
Yeah.
fun person and not trying to intimidate anybody or put your opinions on anybody. The only time I felt uncomfortable was when you moved my husband to the front.
And you thought I was trying to kind of exert my authority, right?
Yes, and I have this problem with sister-in-laws thanks to Nollywood. So I'm like, is she now showing me her true color?
And do
It's
you
all right.
know what?
I'll
This is
go
the
to
first
Nollywood
time.
for advice.
I've never asked you about your first impression of me, and this is coming out right. This is the first time I even heard that made you uncomfortable. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, you go stay in front with my husband because I want to sleep,
Mm.
right? And I remember, no, that was even when we were going back after your
Back
wedding.
to Lagos now, yeah.
Yes. Before the wedding, we met in Lagos. Okay, let me talk about my own
Yes.
first impression.
Okay.
I called you, right? And I think
Mm.
before your wedding, I already added you on Facebook when I saw my brother was serious, and I was going
Mm.
to spy on you on Facebook, look at your pictures. I
What
was
did you
trying to
find
get
out?
to know. You were just a regular person. Look, that time you didn't say much on Facebook. So
Mm.
I couldn't really figure you out. But when somebody is coming into your family, you're wondering, this is my first brother getting married, you're wondering how is this going to be, making space for another person. But one thing I've always known is this. Right from when I was growing up, I told myself, my brother's wives, I don't have expectations about my brother's wives, who they are going to be, what they are going to be, how they are going to behave. Because one, I'm not going to live with you. And one thing I know is that if my brother loves you, me self, I love you. After all, I'm not going to live. I don't care whether you know how to cook. I don't care whether you know how to clean the house. I don't care anything. You're going to live in your house with my brother. That is your own wahala with him. So long as you are good for him, for me, you are already good. And usually, when I meet people for the first time, the first thing I do, I don't even know how to size somebody up or try
Mm.
to kind of understand how the person behaves. I just throw myself into a relationship with the person. The first thing I do is like somebody until you give me a reason not to like you anymore.
Mm.
So, and I knew sister-in-law relationship is really very delicate because it has to do with a family. Because if you're just a friend, when I get tired of being around you, I could just stop being around you. But a sister-in-law is your family member. And one thing
Yeah.
is that when you start having issues with your sister-in-law, it now makes you have issues with your brother, and that makes your brother very uncomfortable. So while I was growing up, I just knew I'm going to like my brother's wives. I knew I was going to do everything to be in a good relationship. And personally, I'm good at respecting boundaries. Let me just hype myself a little bit. Izzy, what's
Yes,
happening to your
yeah.
camera?
I'm trying to increase my brightness on my this thing. What's that thing called? On
Okay.
my light. Yeah.
All right. So I already knew I was going to respect your boundaries, and I actually ask. You understand?
Mm.
I want to understand when you're happy, when you're unhappy with whatever it is I'm doing.
Yeah.
So when I called you the first time, I just felt, let me just try having a relationship with you, knowing you were going to come into my family, because I didn't know you. I was living in Italy, you were living in Nigeria then.
Yeah.
And I decided to call you. And one thing I remember is this. I believed it is the groom's family that should try to reach out to the bride and her family, because
Mm.
in our culture, almost everywhere in the world, it is the man that woos a woman. And I remember when I was getting married, before my father was sick, so my mother was there, who was more vocal. And before my mom allowed me to go meet my family, my mom insisted, your family would have to come and know my family and meet my daughter in my house before you can take her to your family. So I just felt it was okay for me to make the first move. After all, I'm from the groom's family. And then the first time I saw you in Lagos, Izzy, are you there?
Yes, I am. I have a parcel at the door. Be right back.
Okay, okay. So the first time I met you in Lagos, the first impression I had was I thought you were trying to mark your own territory because I remember you came with a tube dress, very adherent, and you couldn't bend down to buckle your sandals. While you were leaving, you told my brother because I hadn't ever seen him with a girl before, so I didn't know what his relationship with a girl was like. And before you left where I was in Lagos, you said, Stanley, please come and help me buckle my sandals. I was like, oh. And at that moment, the first impression I had was like you were trying to mark territory. You were trying to prove to me I can get your brother to do what I want him to do. And immediately you said it. Even my brother went on his knees. He went on his knees and buckled your sandals. And I was like, hey, I didn't know you were this romantic. I told my
I
brother.
cannot remember this famous dress you're talking about. Too.
I think it was ox blood dress. I can't remember exactly. It was a dark cloth, dark gown, short, simple dress, and you couldn't bend down to buckle your own sandals. So when my brother bent down to buckle your sandals, I was like, hey, I didn't know you were this romantic. He said, well, I have a lot of hidden talents you don't know about yet. And so that was my first impression. I really loved that. I really loved that my brother would, take good care of you. But in that moment, I felt you were trying to mark territory to prove a point to me. But in my heart, I was like, there is no point to prove to me. There is no need for that. I'm going to show you that there was no need to prove a point to me.
Now,
And
personally, I don't think so, though.
yeah, I know. I know. After all these years, I know you weren't even thinking about it. Just like I wasn't thinking about it when I told my brother to go to the front seat with my husband because I wanted to sleep at the back. It was a long journey, so many hours of
You actually said so, but I felt not regarded.
yeah. And initially, everybody, when you're entering a new relationship, especially sisters-in-law, one thing
Mm,
a lot of women do is to size each other up.
yeah.
Okay. So we were kind of sensitive in that moment.
Yes.
We were kind
That's
of
true.
sensitive in that moment. And I remember also when I got married newly to my husband, I was sensitive to a lot of things. The way somebody
Mm.
looked at me, the way somebody talked to me, when I felt oppressed, when I felt not respected. Okay. So even though I was making a conscious effort not to make you feel like that, I ended up still making you feeling like that. So I'm sorry for that, but you know me right now, that I didn't mean anything by that.
Oh no.
So the second question is this. People send in your questions because I'm about to exhaust my questions I have here. The second question is this. What do you like about each other?
What do you like about each other? It takes. Your brother is calling me. Oh.
Tell him to
Anyways,
stop. We're online.
okay. So it takes a special person to let you be yourself and still see your special parts. I don't know how to explain that. Like what makes you
Yeah.
special, right? Now,
Uh-huh.
one thing I really appreciate is the fact that I have a sister-in-law that I can explain myself to. And she does not go, oh, so it's my brother that you're talking about, or oh, so you don't even do this for my brother, or I don't know how to explain it to you. Like she sees me a human being that deserves love, attention, and just being treated like a human being basically. And I am a very emotional person. And I don't open up to people because most times you either get laughed at or your emotions are not regarded. But I know that I can open up to her. But sometimes I don't because I also acknowledge the fact that um what's that? I acknowledge the fact that I can't be, she's not a rock, like she's not a stone. So I can't be pouring everything on her. And sometimes the issue may be quite sensitive or it needs some time before we can talk about it. But you see, every other thing, like every other thing, we can actually talk about. That's why I said that we can be on the phone for 4 hours non-stop. There are times I want to call her for something, true confession. I thought I was call and I'll think, do I really want to make this call? Because we will not finish this call within this conversation that I just brought up. Do you understand? So the best times to call is like you're taking a walk, there's nobody at home with you, just call, you gist till eternity. Till one person says, you know what, I have to run. Yeah. So that's the most important thing. I appreciate a lot of things about her, but that's the first thing that comes to mind every time I think of. Like if you go on Facebook, just look for me and search for my name and her name at the same time. You see a post I made about her, like maybe 2014 or so, or 2015, I can't remember. And everything I said in that post still holds true. So sometimes I don't even need to write any of that. I'll just copy and paste again. But maybe change the grammar small.
Okay, I'm blushing.
Yeah, blush, you deserve it. You earned
Okay,
it.
let me say something. The things I like about you is that you are smart.
Oh my
I
God.
love smart, intelligent women. Look, I'm a sucker for not just women. I'm a sucker for intelligent people, not just book intelligence, like everyday normal life intelligence. Somebody you can actually reason with, somebody you can
Mm,
actually kind of talk to without being misunderstood, you know. And another thing I like about you is that you are resilient. You're a crybaby just like me. But after crying, you stand up, you do what you need to do, you know, and you're not afraid to acknowledge your struggles. And I like the fact that you open up to me, that you don't kind of try to shield yourself or kind of present a different facade with me. You are yourself when you talk to me, even when you make mistakes, even when you're
mm,
telling me things, you will still
mm.
tell me, okay, I did this, I know it's wrong, but I did it. You understand? I like that kind of frankness. And it's in short, it's easy for me to talk to you. I don't have to walk on eggshells, not knowing where I stand with you. And over the years, we built this relationship, and I thank God for it. I am very, very grateful. And another thing I like about you, what other thing? You are teachable, not teachable because you have to learn from me, from books, from the word of God, from films that you watch. And I like the fact that you are intentional about yourself, your growth, your relationship with my brother, your relationship with your children, the way you want to raise your children. I like that you are intentional about that, and you are constantly trying to grow, to raise good people in the society. You know, let me just say, even though they are your children, I can say I can trust you with my nieces. I'm happy you're their mother. And sometimes
Hey, oh
we
my
can
God.
really be crazy, emotional, and everything. But I like the fact that even though you're emotional, when that all flood of emotion clears, you are you are willing to reason it out and find a way to move on, you know. And
Yeah.
I like your strength too. I remember when you were doing your masters, you were pregnant. In fact, masters and PhD, two pregnancies. You were pregnant, you had a lot of difficulty. I like the fact that you insisted, you know, and I'm proud of you for that, you know. And even
Thank
though I'm
you.
older than you, some of the things you do, I learn from them. It encourages me. So that's why I said I like strong, intelligent women, because the Bible says that
Oh,
iron sharpeneth iron. Iron sharpeneth iron. So I love surrounding myself, sisters, cousins, um, my brother's wife, even the ones who are yet to come that I might not even know about. I love them already. And I just pray to God that God gives us more wives like you. And so far, God has blessed my brothers, my cousins. They have wonderful wives that I love like sisters.
Yeah. So
That.
let me add to that. Like, if you want to know how much of a crybaby I am, I was so hard on my daughter this morning, like so hard. Then by the time I dropped her off, I got down from the car, called her back, gave her a hug, and say, "Mommy loves you." Then I dropped off my second daughter, and I called my husband, and I started crying, like real ugly crying. And then I cried for like 20 minutes. Then I came back. Then I called a colleague of mine who is a coach. And so we talked about just basically being a better parent. Like, I was reviewing a paper at work for
Mhm.
being being an awesomeness based coach, or using awesomeness based coaching, right? And
Yeah,
I was start talking to him about how to use that as a parent and be a
yeah,
better parent, basically. And one of the things I've learned from you as well is like being a better and really, really intentional parent. So, to be honest, I know that I can ask you like almost any question at all. And I know that, I think because you said something about me just being myself. If you don't hold space for somebody to be like, there are things that I want to talk to my husband about, and I know he will understand. So I go and talk to you about it first. And then I see someone who understands me, then I'll go back and talk with him. Even if he doesn't understand it, I'm good. Somebody understand. I'm not mad. Like, somebody understood me, so I'm okay.
yeah. And one thing I know is that even if I don't understand you, I'm also a very emotional person. Even if I don't understand maybe why you feel offended about something, why you feel so strong about something, one thing I have
Mm,
learned is to acknowledge your feelings. Whether I
yeah.
understand, I don't have to understand your feelings to acknowledge it. And I know that when you call me to vent, sometimes you don't even need any direction, any suggestion from me. You are just venting. And after venting, I start asking you questions. Okay, how do you think you can do this? How do you think you can resolve this and all that? Because sometimes our answers are inside of us,
Yeah.
right? Even when I call my younger sister, I'll tell her, look, I don't want you to quote any scripture right now. Don't quote any scripture to me. Don't start telling me the people who are dead, who are sick, who have much more problems than me. Just listen, let me vent. Okay. So I think, and I remember sometime you told me that it's like everything you've been through, that I've been through that, and I have a way of understanding you. I don't know whether it's understanding. All I know is that as an emotional person, just like you, I feel emotions, oh my God, in a deeper level, even pain, physical pain. I feel pain on a very deep level. So it's easier for me. I think my being emotional makes me empathetic. It helps me
Mm.
understand
I think
other.
I think it's not yeah, I think it's not just about being empathetic. I think it's called holding space for someone else. Like, there are people who know that they can't cross the road. But if they see somebody else that can't cross the road, they'll eat the person raw.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So it's called, in coaching, it's called holding space.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing I've learned as I grow older to I've always been a compassionate person, but to continue being more and more and more and more compassionate, especially towards women, because women go
Mm.
through a lot, not just in our culture, all over the world. A lot of things are expected of women, things that men cannot even do. They expect because you're a woman, you should do it. Society has a lot of expectations towards women. So that makes me much more on the side of women than on
Mm.
the side of men because last last they'll be all right. You know, when the child is sick, there are men who, after working, they just hang out with their friends. For them, it is completely normal. I'm hanging out with my friends. But women, try it one day, trying to cool off, hang out. A married woman, don't you know that you're a married woman with responsibilities?
It will even be worse if some of them are not married. Like, some of those
Yeah,
your friends are not married.
yeah, yeah. So, and that's the issue. So I just pray God will continue helping us, every one of us, to continue to grow, just like as you called it. So that's why I told you this girl is too intelligent for her own good. What did you call it again? Holding space?
Holding space.
Okay. I've learned a new one. Another question is this. I'm still expecting your questions. Okay, this is Nkechi Vizioli. She said, hi, Chuma Meribe. That's my younger brother. Hi, God bless you, Nkechi. Oh, yes. Ebere says, Ebere is my friend. Hello to everyone. Ebere, hello. She said, hi, Ezine. And Gioeleria Visioli, I know who is this. He said, he wrote it in Italian. He said, ricorda che I dati sporchi si lavano in casa. Do you know what that means?
I just had
This
in
is an
Gaza.
Italian friend. He said, I should remember that dirty clothes are washed indoors so that we should not come here and be washing our dirty clothes. Oh my God.
Don't worry, this is for the good, the bad,
This
and
is
the ugly,
funny.
really.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find a way to put the questions on screen. Please send in your questions. Beautiful people, send
There's
in
a
your
private chat
questions.
box here. You can put in anything you want to put. Let me show you. Let me try. Hello.
Okay.
Can you see my
Okay, this
chat?
is this is a private chat box between me and you. The others
I
can't
think so.
see it. Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Okay.
So except
Let's
you probably joined the live stream on your phone and reduce it completely.
okay, hold on a bit.
Mm.
This is a new software. This is my first line. Okay, the chat is ready to display messages. Okay. So let's see if it's going to display messages. Pick on chats. Do what you're supposed to do. Appearance. Show your counter. Show avatars. Okay, let's see. So another question is this.
Yeah.
Okay, we just asked, what do you like about each other? What do you not like about each other? Is in a confess.
Not like.
Yeah.
Mm, in agua, like in behavior.
In behavior,
Um,
something, the way I dress, the way I talk, the way I look, the way I do this, do that.
to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think like not because we're on live video,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think there's anything I don't like.
Nothing. Are you sure?
Mm-mm.
Are you
If you
sure?
ask me, I've told you before, I don't just think you're doing enough, or maybe that's just my perception. I feel like you have a lot to give, and you're not giving, you're holding on to it. That's it.
How?
But this YouTube channel, you started it, right? And
Yeah.
we're making progress. But that's the only problem I have with you.
Okay, you think I have a lot inside of me to give to people, not materially.
No, not materially. No, 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 no.
That's why I
I feel
invited you
like
here
you're
to
holding
help me bring
yourself
it
back.
out. Yeah, I know I'm holding. I know I'm holding myself back a little. Like I couldn't do my first live stream. I was terrified of doing a live stream alone.
Mm.
That's why I invited you to come do this with me. And people, please indicate if you want to see more of her. If you want to see a lot of our discussions that we hold in private, if you want to
Don't worry,
hear
I'll
us
buy
talk
more light
about,
and look brighter.
if you want to hear us discuss and take on issues, social issues about women, about the family, about relationship, about everything, please, please indicate and let me invite her again. And let me tell you, whether you indicate or not, you're going to be seeing more of her. Okay?
Okay, so you
So
tell me, what don't you like about me?
just like I said, you are too, sometimes you can be too intellectual. I
Mm.
remember the first time I told you, even your books, I like, sometimes what you like about somebody can still be the same thing that you don't like, or that is, let me not say don't like. It can be the same thing that makes you uncomfortable about the person. Because sometimes when it's time to be, for me, when it's time to be intellectual, all prim and proper, all this, I know how to
Mm.
do that. But when I went to be silly, allow me to be
Mm.
silly. I remember the first time I told you I was watching The Real Housewives of whatever. You said, you watched that show. What do you learn from there? For me, for me, it
I don't
sounded
know how to be
almost,
silly. That's just it's a problem I have. I don't know
yeah,
how to have fun. I don't know how to turn down. Yeah.
yeah. So it sounded almost kind of judgmental. And that is why
Oh.
I remember what I told you that day. I said, okay, I confess I watched them, but don't tell anybody, because if you ever say it, I will deny you. I would deny. So the only thing is that I keep my trash TV show to myself. I don't discuss them with
Mm.
you anymore because we can talk about every other thing. And when I say, have you ever watched about this? Have you ever watched it? You watch that? Oh my god! And sometimes when you do this, I say, oh. You know,
You guys,
sometimes
I
I
am
say,
too
leave me to my
serious for my
guilty.
own good.
Yeah, I would say, please though, leave me to my guilty pleasure. Organic, you know. So,
Oh my god.
so that is just that. Even the books you read, I'm also um when I was younger, I used to devour a lot of books, but they have to be entertaining. I read a lot. But now, as I'm getting older, I don't want to take life too seriously anymore. So if I have to read, it has to be entertaining. But you sometimes you tell me, have you read this? And I go and Google the book. You tell me, okay, you can download it on Audible. You can read it on Kindle. You can do this. Sometimes you'll be sending me links of websites to go and read. Very deep matters. Organic, leave me alone. You know,
Oh my
very deep
god.
issues.
Let me
You
show you guys
understand?
something. Let me show you
Mhm.
guys something.
Okay.
I picked up these books yesterday from the library. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be me having fun during the holiday.
Oh, Chimo. So sometimes I will say, okay, let me just avoid those areas because we can never agree on the types of books we read, on the types of TV programs we watch. And I don't see you much as a TV person.
I didn't grow up
For
watching
me,
TV, so my
yeah.
kids are like, "Mommy, let's watch TV," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"In this house."
So I like those my silly trash guilty pleasures reality these American reality shows that you never learn anything from there. For me, I call it social experiment. It's a social experiment. That is my story, and I'm sticking with it. I am doing a social experiment. I want to see different kinds of human beings the way they are, because sometimes we
Oh
stay
my
in a little
god.
bubble. We are raised in a certain way. We grew up with a certain
Yeah.
circle of people. We move with a certain circle of people. But when you watch these reality shows and see some types of people that you did not know existed, or maybe you see their parents, the way they are trash themselves, you'll be like, oh
Mm.
my God, no wonder, you know? So for me, whether you like it or not, this is my story and I'm sticking to it. It's a social experiment for me. I'm trying to discover other types of human beings that I did not know existed. So that is just one thing I can't discuss with you because sometimes you look at me as if that is it.
Hey, don't worry, we can discuss.
No, we can't discuss it because when are you going to start? You know, loads and loads and loads of reality show you have to watch to come to my level of silliness. No,
No, that you can impact my life.
no.
You can impact my life and help me understand your social experiment, help me see things from a different point of view. Like somebody was talking to me about a book. I think the name is Jen Sincero is the author of the
Mm-hmm,
book. And the title of the book is You Are a Badass. And so she's like
mm-hmm.
that the book is kind of good though, but there's too much swearing in it.
Yeah.
And what else did she say? That she now asked me that do I find myself dismissing somebody's opinion as soon as they don't match my expectations of what an opinion should look like,
Mm-hmm,
right? And I responded that a few years ago I was where you are now, but I think that with more exposure and allowing yourself to see what life is like on other people's lens,
mm-hmm.
you're able to tolerate some things better. I remember I recently watched a very short video clip and there was lots and lots of swearing in it. And I sat down, enjoyed it, and even laughed through it. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, I would have shut it off at the first 5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So I think that I'm still very much that person that everything has to have a purpose, everything has to have an end, everything has to have some degree of value it is bringing into my life. Like
Yeah.
somebody asked me, what do you do for fun? And I'm like, I don't think I do anything for fun. It has to have
Nothing.
a defining purpose. So, and it's so good. I had to learn to turn down it. Even my husband doesn't send me like these memes or jokes that you see online because I won't open them.
Yeah.
So you have to find somebody else to laugh over them with.
Yeah. And you know, one thing I also know is this. When you are raised in I don't know. I don't want to say something that will make other people's families look like they didn't get it right. But when
Mm,
you're raised in, especially in a Pentecostal Christian family in Nigeria,
mm,
your mom is a
mm.
pastor. So my mom is a Christian, a Sunday school teacher. My father was a Sunday school teacher. Even though I saw my father, that's a discussion for another day. I saw my father's conversion, but I grew up seeing my father being a Sunday school teacher. My parents were Christians, and you're raised in a certain way. It's even as if you have to block anything that does not align with your Christian values, especially
Exactly.
while growing up. Yes.
My
Even
child, do not.
friendships, music. I remember we could not play
Yes.
worldly music in my home.
Yes, I remember. My child, if sinners entice thee, do not consent. Evil
Mhm.
communication corrupts good manners. Can two work
Exactly.
together except they agree? Do
Hmm.
not be unequally yoked. So when you're finished reading all those things, and like when I was thinking about it, that sometimes some of this thing is brainwashing as well.
Yeah.
Brainwashing can actually be good.
Yeah.
Growing up, as long as I felt that we didn't have the same values, you could not be
Hmm.
my friend. Some
Yeah.
people said I was a snob. I don't know about that, but I'll just avoid you, like give you space, right? So it made my circle very small, and I believe it made
Yeah.
my exposure very small. It probably saved me
Yeah.
from a lot of things,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's good to have a wider scope of what the
Hmm.
world is all about.
Exactly. And another thing is that while growing up, our parents thought we couldn't handle certain things. So
Yeah, that
for
shielding
them,
was the best.
instead of having a discussion with you about them, they would rather block you from even discuss. We grew up and we discovered a lot of things. So I think that is what hinders you from kind of letting your head down. You still have, personally, when I watch TV programs and they swear a lot in it, I have to look around if someone else is listening, because I did not swear, it did not come out of my mouth, but I am embarrassed for even hearing that. You know.
Oh
So
my
even when I
god.
watch these things, you know that when I watch these my programs, I have to close myself in my room, because sometimes I tell
Mm.
myself it's not the kind of example I want to give my children. I have to close myself in my room and watch them. And when somebody swears, I reduce the volume of the TV. I hope nobody heard that. So that's just it. But anyway,
Oh
you
my
are free
god.
to be yourself. I understand you. The only thing is that it limits what we can talk about. So let us just talk about your prim
Oh
and
yeah,
proper.
bring your trash TV now. Let's talk about it. I'm
You don't
happy
know
to
how long I've
discuss
been
it.
watching that. You don't know how long I've been watching that. You
Okay,
can't
send me
keep
one. Which
up.
one is on Netflix? Let me watch.
Netflix. It's not on Netflix. Don't worry. Do you want me to say online how I watch these things?
Download it now.
Most of them I know. One program I know we enjoyed watching. You enjoyed it. I watched it also on Netflix. The Good Wife.
Oh man,
We loved it.
that thing that's in there. Absolutely loved it. It kept me awake for days, and I was pregnant.
Yeah.
It kept me awake. It kept me company as well. They moved into the good something, but I couldn't follow it anymore.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
remember? There's
Ebere said, seeing your sister-in-law firstly as your fellow woman, then as a friend helps in building a beautiful relationship. Yeah,
yeah,
Ebere,
that's
you're right.
true.
You're
So
right.
you know why I enjoyed The Good Wife? Because it had some intellectual angle to it. Same thing with
That's what I
Scandal.
was going to say.
I was the other day I was watching a movie with my friend's kids, and I'm like, this is going to happen. And it happened. And they're like, Auntie, how did you know? And like that's why I hate watching movies, because they're so predictable. Like I can't sit
Yeah,
through 10 minutes of a Nigerian movie when I know what's going to happen to the end. Or some jobless girls that live in a big house, and how do they make their money? We don't know. But they're going out and coming in every day. So what kind of example are you showing me, right? So,
yeah,
but if you give me a movie that is very intellectual, right?
yeah,
And I have to, that's why I don't even watch movies sometimes, because I want to be able to sit down and piece the movie apart,
yeah.
and reason some things that were not shown or some things that were not said. But okay, like I used to enjoy Scandal until someday somebody said that Scandal is
It,
propagating
yeah,
infidelity.
yeah. I think we talked about that sometime.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talked about that sometime. I said, "Ha,
And
she has
that's how
come
I
again
stopped
with
watching
our wahala.
Scandal.
She has come again with our wahala."
Like every Saturday morning, Scandal was first, I'll sit down and watch first before I do anything in the house. Next thing, the person now
Yeah.
told me that, don't you see that Scandal is propagating flirting? In my church man, I'm like, that's true. That's true. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, you are still free to be yourself and leave me to my
Send
silly.
me the TV, let me watch. It's Christmas. What am I going to do with my holiday?
No, you'll be scandalized. Let's leave you as innocent as you are. I don't want to make you feel scandalized.
Innocentia or the Kemme. No, I went to brighten my teeth, be whiten my teeth the other day, and the lady put on um Housewives of, I think, somewhere in Houston, Texas, somewhere there.
Mhm.
Yeah, one it just one episode I watched, and it was just interesting to see how people think, how people behave, and the
Yeah.
backbiting when there's lots of money involved. Yeah.
So,
So what's next question?
what next? People sending your questions. Let me see.
Amy is
Okay.
asking, has any of you watched Love is Blind?
Yes, I have.
I know you have finished the whole thing now. I think you and I talked about it, Seth, one time, and you told me they had a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Was it you? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I stumbled on Love is Blind, and then
Mm-hmm.
she told me about the YouTube channel. Then I watched the couple. Then I went back to watch Love is Blind. But as usual,
Mm-hmm.
I realized that it was not impacting my life in any way. So I moved on. Oh my god. Yeah,
Oh.
Love is Blind was interesting. I even had to replay that part of the black guy and the black girl where he
Mm-hmm.
opened up to the girl and the girl was finding it hard to take it. The girl was finding it hard to take in the new revelation and he just went out on her, Till today I
Yeah.
still get notifications in my news app about what is happening with Love is Blind stars and casts.
Yeah.
Till today, I still get notifications. So I
Yeah.
replayed that episode for my husband. Like, can you imagine what happened here and all that? And it's a show that if we didn't have kids, we'd probably just sit down and watch and enjoy it together. Because
Yeah.
he likes, my husband loves entertainment. Ask him about any musician, he would download. Ask him about any footballer, he would download. But
You remember when
in
he
that
he
area, I'm
used to
sorry.
watch you remember when he used to watch Divorce Court?
Yes, so
I bet she come back and start. And when she said, "Can you imagine your brother sits down and watches Divorce Court?" I said, "I watch it too." She said, "Eh?"
yeah, I'm sure my husband has tolerated plenty things sha, from me. I'm like, this is what
Oh,
jobless people
God.
sit down and watch from morning till night. What? Yeah.
We are not jobless, so we just like to entertain, understand, see, there are
And
people
see, I'm
like
always
this.
hot. My head is always hot. I'm always pent up. I'm always wondering what have I achieved. I'm not even slowing down. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for this
So
revelation.
you need to loosen up and enjoy yourself sometimes. And
Yes,
one thing
so
you watch, even the programs you watch, the books you read them as a job, as a duty. You don't know how to sit down and watch something just for the sake of relaxing and enjoying it. You overload your brain even when you're watching TV.
I'm currently watching a Canadian TV show on Netflix, and I basically picked
Mhm.
it up because I was talking to my team lead about North American culture and all that. And
Yeah,
somewhere along the line, she said something about TV shows, entertainment, something like that. Oh my
yeah.
god, that's how I took it up as a job. Oh. Every night I watch. It's interesting, though, but at the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm watching this to learn North American specifically.
Yeah. Something is happening with your connection.
Like the guy I was talking with at work. Okay, what does my daughter
Mhm.
silly craft shoes? And he's like, and I put it in a posture because I'm sure of it. So the battery was down.
The battery of your. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah, I
hear you
can.
now. Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying that I plugged my laptop, but it was just one end of the whatever that I plugged in.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so I was talking with Guy at work this morning about my parenting fail this early morning. And so he's like, what does your daughter like to do for fun? I'm like, she likes watching dolls and silly craft shows. I put the silly in apostrophe because that's the way I feel about it. I'm like, Chinchika, why are you always watching this thing? How is it impacting your life, for goodness sake?
Poor
You're
girl.
watching dolls on TV. Hey, Chineke. Dolls. They will now talk about how they are going to back for vacation, how they are traveling, how they. I'm like, "Hichori bido kita nene Kim Kardashian." Hey, hey, bam, 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 bam. Not in my house. Then
Mhm.
they will now do color the doll's hair, repaint the hair, put glitters, do this. Of course, maybe it can help your other side, the other side of your brain, right?
Mhm.
So he's like, what if you watch it with her and act as an observer, not a judge? Just watch it
Yeah.
with her and ask her questions, like let her teach you what is going on. You could even find teachable moments, from those times. And I'm like, okay, I would.
Yeah.
So that was when he asked me, what do you even do for fun? And I'm like, man, nothing, no, nothing.
I
No.
work for fun.
Yeah, I work for fun. To be honest, I do. My me having a fun day is a productive day at work. That's just the truth about me. I've laughed so much. I have lots of tears in my eyes.
Okay. The next question is this:
Mm-hmm.
who cooks better?
Who cooks better? I'm sure she will not cook, so I don't know. She will say, I'm a baby girl for life. I came here to enjoy myself. She will not touch anything. So please, don't ask me that question. But let's
Okay,
ask
the truth
Chukuma.
is that
Chukuma told me that I cook very well. So let's ask Chukuma if he's still here.
Chukuma, are you still here? Chukuma is my younger brother, and I don't know, maybe he's not here anymore, or maybe he's wherever. Anyway, the truth is that you've never eaten my food.
Never, because you don't Greek cook. I've been for
Okay,
many times. Okay, 2 times, right? Yeah, 2 times.
okay. The first time we were in my mother's house, and my mom did the cooking.
Yes.
Okay, and Nkiru.
Mm-hmm.
So both of us were visitors. That was just before your wedding, when
Yes.
we just newly met. So you did not cook, I did not cook. The second time was in your house in Nigeria.
Yeah, and I don't think I cooked that period either.
Even the soup I ate, the Oha soup I ate, your mom cooked it
My mom made it. Yes.
and sent from Enugu to Abuja. Oh,
Yes, I'm
all
a
this new
baby girl
generation.
too.
Why? All this in my days.
Hey, oh.
In my days, they would have sent you back to your parents. Your mom sent soup from Enugu
Yes, sir.
to
I
Abuja.
still say till today that I lived in Abuja for maybe 2 or 3 years roughly. But the time I stayed in Abuja for 6 months, my mom was the one who knew the market in Abuja, not me. My mom lives in
Yeah,
Enugu.
but actually
My
you didn't
mom
live.
visited Abuja.
Actually, you didn't live in Abuja for long. You were also a visitor because you were shuttling between Japan and Abuja.
Yeah, but my
So you
mom was
spent,
also a visitor to Abuja. Do you understand? But she
you
was
know more
willing
than
to go to the market. The day I came, it was one of my friends that helped me, go to the market. Like market to me. I'll just enter supermarkets around, buy what I want, come out. But market, I didn't know that market for a long
you
time.
see this new generation wives. They will go to
Hence my
supermarket. They
love.
will not go to the market and haggle with the market women. You see?
Ah,
Mm-mm.
why would I
Anyway,
even
Mama
cook
is
for her soup when you people will eat the one that is very delicious? Eh?
But one thing is that when we stayed in Abuja, we were there for a short while, and we really had a lot of fun. We were going out, coming in. Sometimes we go out to eat and come back, and there was no need to cook. But I remember you made what is it? I won't call that cooking, but you made that thing you did with dates. What
Tiger
is
nut milk.
akiawusa in English?
Tiger nut milk. Tiger nuts.
Tiger nuts. dates,
Mm,
tiger nuts, and coconut. That drink,
mm.
that thing was so good. Even though I won't call it cooking. So I don't know whether you can cook. What thing
Let me tell
concern
you
you?
guys where my strength is,
Mm-hmm.
baking, grilling. Like I make the best marinades ever. That one
Mm-hmm.
I can even attest to it. Baking,
Mm-hmm.
grilling, making smoothies, making drinks. Maybe I should even start learning how to make cocktail.
Our
But
mothers
when
will
you
say,
now
"Is that
say
one?"
I should stand, chop ugu, boil meat, I do it too. But the day I do it, the soup, my husband said that the soup will last for 4 months. Because I don't want to do it again. Oh my God.
So it's okay. Whatever, whether you cook concoction or you don't cook. For me, it's for you and your husband. There, whoever can cook, I beg cook in my house and cook.
No,
And one thing is,
I enjoy making things like beans and yam porridge because you can make it in one pot, everything can enter at the
Mhm.
same time, and you're
Exactly.
done. But
Yeah.
and then I enjoy making stews as well. But here they like rice and stew so much. The stew finishes before you say pim. So when
Yeah.
I make soup, I make sure that it's lifetime. My husband will travel and come back and still make the soup because I personally
Yeah.
don't eat Gary. That's why.
In fact, sometimes I pity for women who say, "My husband doesn't eat any soup that is more than a day, more than 2 days." Me, I will cook me, I will cook with a big pot as if I have a booker, as if I have a restaurant, and then share and put in the freezer. Because me, and you know one thing with cooking our native soup, all the smell, the stockfish, the dry fish will go on your hair, will go. By the time you finish cooking, sometimes you take your bath, you spray your perfume. When you bend down and stand up, you smell the food on your hair. So it's not something I want to do every day. So when I want to cook, I enter the kitchen, cook big pots of stew, soup, put
And
in the
soup,
freezer.
yeah.
So I don't
I've
want to be
also learned
smelling
to
of.
fry my tomatoes. Like I fry a full pot of tomatoes, split it
Mhm,
into two, then use half
mhm.
to make stew. That way, the next
Yeah,
time I come back, I'm only looking for meat and meat stock.
yeah.
Anything to make this baby
So
girl life easier.
so the truth is that she has never tasted my food. I have never tasted her food.
Wait, I've
And
tasted your food. Wait, I've tasted your food. Chukuma brought vegetable soup for me and one other thing you made
Chukuma
all the
took
way from
vegetable
Italy.
soup from Italy to, oh, it's true. From Italy to
Yes.
Japan.
Yes. I had not eaten Nigerian food in a while, so it was tasty. So I don't know if it was the lack of not eating Nigerian food or that it was really, really tasty. So we'll judge it on another day.
My soup was good. You remember, Chukuma ate it in my house in Italy, and
Eh.
he packed my soup from Italy to Japan. You know what that means? My soup traveled to Japan before me. I think I
Yeah,
made
so
meat
I'm eating
pies
your
too.
cooking.
I think I
No, it
made
was
meat
only the
pies
soup you
too.
brought to Chukwa. When it comes to food, Chukwa does not share so much. Don't worry.
I can't remember if I made meat pies, but I
Mm.
think I did. I
He
don't know.
brought me
We'll have
two
to
things,
ask.
that soup and something else, but I can't remember what the other one was.
So you've tasted my soup, so you know, even
Yeah.
as a baby girl for life, this girl can cook. Eh? And one other thing is that I feel much more comfortable cooking in my own kitchen. Even if I have a friend who is sick, a friend who just gave birth, instead
Hmm.
of inviting me to cook in your own house, I prefer to cook in my own kitchen and take to you because I
You
am
said
much
that
more
before.
comfortable in my own space, in my own kitchen. I don't know why. Growing up, people say she doesn't like doing anything, but I've been taking care of my home for how many years now? It's not as if I'm a champion
I think
cleaner.
for me, if I go to somebody else's house, man, I just want to sit down and relax.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
I
raise up
remember when
my
I was
finger.
coming to Nigeria. I remember when I was
Eh,
coming to Nigeria. I didn't want to tell you I was coming because I wanted to surprise you people. I was telling you, what if the other people come? You're going to have a lot of people in your house. Why don't you invite somebody who would help you do this, who would help you do that? Because me, I knew I was coming and I don't want anybody to tell me to come and help because that was my baby girl time. When I come to your house, I'm coming to eat and rest and have fun.
the funny thing, You know the funny thing. I actually married a good man. I was going to tell you that one of the reasons that I said, never can go is okay for those that don't understand it. But one of the reasons I said this is my final destination was
Mhm,
that he told me that if you quarrel with your mother, don't let your wife know. If you
mhm,
quarrel with your wife, don't let your mother know
mhm.
because you would mend the relationship, but the two of them will still be quarreling. Do you
Exactly.
understand?
Yeah.
And then that time you guys were coming, the house was going to be so full. I was so worried. I was now making a timetable of what we'll eat, what we'll eat when. And I'm like, what do you think about this? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making timetable now. So, in the morning we'll eat this. He's like, forget it. Whatever we see, we'll eat. I'm like, oh my God, now you be cool. I never forget it. Never. Never. So that period there,
You
I was
wanted
not
to
under
see your wife's
pressure.
materialness.
No, I was just trying to be a good woman.
Yeah.
That period there, I was not under pressure. There are days I'll just carry my bag. I say, I'm coming, no, I'm going for a massage. I just carry my bag and go. Because Uncle said, anything we see, we will eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing is that given that you were receiving two families at the same time, my younger sister's
Mm,
family, her husband, her children, I was coming, another cousin was coming. That was your first time of having every one of us in your house at the same time. That
yeah,
I know that could put pressure on someone because you would want to not really go out of your way to impress, but you want to leave a good taste in people's mouth, especially as a good hostess. You want to make sure everybody is okay.
exactly.
And I knew that was going to be a lot, having a lot of people in your house at the same time. And I was calling and insisting, you better find somebody to help you do this because me, I'm not helping anybody.
At least I ordered soup from Enugu.
Yes, and the night I arrived, you bought, what did
Mm.
you bring? Point and kill, grilled
I
fish.
can't remember.
Yeah, I was already in your house, and then you arrived in the night. You went out, you came back, you brought some grilled fish, and we were
Mm-hmm.
mostly eating out, so I didn't eat anything you cooked. But that's okay. Maybe when I come to Canada, in the name of Jesus, I'll come and
Amen.
see if you can actually
Jokwa
cook.
ndimu na happy whether I cook.
If you
Oh
like,
my
be
God.
drinking complex every day, waiting concern me.
No, and that's another thing. I don't like giving children like cereal every day. I try to make sure that we eat good food. I wish I
Mm,
had that mindset of, oh, let's just eat cereal and be all right, right? But
mm,
I'm always
yeah.
like, are they getting enough protein? Are they getting enough this? Are they getting enough that? Even Jika self is tired of me. Therefore, Jika should just eat cornflakes in the morning, cornflakes in the afternoon, cornflakes in the night. Life is good.
I remember one time Udo was coming to your house, so we were talking on the phone. He said, "I don't know what to buy for Jika. These two people, their own over two, no, two doctors living together. If you buy this thing for their daughter, they will say, no, 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 she doesn't eat this. If you buy the other one, they'll say, no, 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 we don't want her to eat this." So he was, I don't know what to buy. I said, buy a toy. You and your husband can be so heavy when it comes to nutrition. I beg, make
Yes,
una.
we are. I agree. Like we don't eat Indomie. So Jika knows that if you eat Indomie today, before you see it again, it's another 3 months. There was this day, like here, people buy juice and give their children a juice pack to go to school with.
Mhm,
But my child goes to school with a juice pack like once every 3 weeks or once in 1 month. It's water or tangerines, right? So one
mhm.
day, my little girl, the one that is just a year old, went out and somebody gave her juice. The first one, see how she grabbed it in there, finished it. They gave her a second one, she grabbed it, finished it. So I said, see now, what is it now? My friend Arina said, when you give her one in 1 year, why would she be grabbing it like that?
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Anyway, the next question is, we're spending a lot of time here. Maybe you would have to, anyway, you're coming
We'll
back.
definitely have to come back.
Yeah, the question here is, in what ways are you alike?
I think we already said that too.
Yeah.
We're both emotional.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of like the same things.
Mm-hmm. Have
We
the
kind of
same
like this
ideas about almost everything.
about women, about raising children, about
Mostly in
like
relationships.
yes, about relationships. Yeah.
Mm.
Where do we disagree? I haven't, apart from this one that you told me about trash TV now, I didn't know about it before.
Yeah,
Like
that's where we disagree.
I
But
thought we were like
yeah, yeah,
I
you're
thought
not
so I
alike. Go
don't
ahead.
worry, calm down. Hmm.
Before you get to my level of silliness, mm-mm, you can't do that.
Don't worry. Okay, so I don't think it's only in that area that we're not alike. I think in every other thing we're like we cry a
Mm,
lot.
mm-hmm.
We like to be pampered. Um, what else? We like justice.
Yeah,
Justice. Just
yeah,
because it's going well, like just because you suffered in something does not mean another person has to suffer through it.
yeah, yeah.
Like I was telling my husband that all the opinions she has on YouTube, I have those opinions and more. But if I come out and say that thing, they'll be like, look at you, how old are you? Who are you? Yeah, can't sit down, you know? Yeah, so for now, let her be championing the cause.
Okay. Oh, very soon you're going to come here and be championing the cause with me.
Until then,
Okay.
you're giving me cover because when I say it and you're my sister-in-law, people are like, okay. But assuming I was saying it alone and you're my sister-in-law, but you don't agree with me, hey, people that will pursue me, there'll be plenty.
Yeah, and I don't even think you need my validation or anybody's validation. Whoever the person
No.
is, this is
The
your
truth about
opinion.
it is,
Mm,
yes, but you have to be, I think in the Nigerian context, you have to be a
mhm.
certain age to say some things,
Yeah.
or you have to have some certain clout to say some things.
Mm.
It's true that they are your opinion. It's true that I write about these things, but I don't call names. I just
Yeah.
write.
Hmm.
So there's a level you get to. Is I think like they say people who are 80 something, 90
Hmm.
something, they can tell you anything because they don't care anymore. Right.
Yeah.
So it comes, there are some things you can't, it's not like you can't say, but age and maybe having kids will make you be like, you see, the only thing I'm fighting for now is my kids. So I don't care about your opinion. So I think that as I grow older, I'm also, and your level of exposure as well. So if you are church brought up and you must please everybody in your speech, that's the way you are brought up, or you are a people pleaser, it's easy for you to want to say things to please everybody. Your screen is frozen. Are you still here? What happened? Let me send her a message. Oh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My eyes are so watered, like it's filled with tears. Let me see what's going on. It was a beautiful conversation, and oh, she's
Hello,
gone.
Izzy.
Okay, she's back. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
here.
something happened to my connection and it tripped off.
Okay, okay, no
Yeah.
problem. So all Chinwugu said, no celebrity can do it better than you two. Kudos. For me, my eyes are
Ah,
burning because my mascara has run into my eyes from all the tears that I brought out. So
you're already shedding tears. Are you
no, it
crying?
was from laughing.
Oh, okay. Olachi,
Mm.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. And if you people enjoy having us together discussing these things we've been talking about,
Open a
just
GoFundMe account and I'll come back.
Nalayo. I know there
This
for
show
that
needs
one.
sponsors.
People will
Wait,
fall for
calm
your head.
down. Calm down. The show needs sponsors. If you want a good show, it's not that my lighting is very poor. If you want a good show, quality production. If you want a good show,
Okay.
quality production and more entertainment. Like for example, we can have like jingles and we say, oh, see, if this show has sponsors, let me tell you what's going to happen. Women can get products that they like at a very
Mhm.
women can get products that they like at a very good price or at a discounted
Mhm.
rate, and everybody's
Yeah.
happy. You're happy, your show is growing, production is good, and everybody's
Yeah.
happy. And let me tell you something, you never get what you don't ask for. So every day you
Yeah.
come on this show, say, this show needs sponsors. I wonder they will come.
Again.
See, I can
So
go
quick, you better
motivational on
listen.
you.
You
Sorry,
better
I have
listen. I
another
told
parcel to
you.
pick up.
Hmm.
I'm
Okay.
coming.
Somebody calling you? Okay. And
Yeah, I have a
somebody else
parcel to
said,
pick up.
in what ways are you different? We've already said that. And another thing is, the last question is, how do you resolve conflicts between you? How do you avoid conflicts? Um, okay, I will start. The thing is, we have never had any kind of conflict. And one thing is this, because we have not lived together in the same place for a very long time. So when we see each other, it's mostly to have fun, hang out, enjoy yourself. So that short period, there's really no time for conflicts, you know. And one thing I know is that we are human beings. Anything can happen. People could have issues with each other, even sisters, daughters and mothers, daughters and fathers, family members. You can have issues with each other. But one thing I know is that I don't believe my mistake or your mistake defines who you are. Okay. You can make mistakes because, and really, I don't expect too much from any human being. I don't expect perfection from any human being. So I know someone can make mistakes. So we really don't have time to have conflicts. And one other thing is that we respect each other's boundaries. We respect each other's boundaries. And one thing I know is that I like people who are outspoken. Outspoken doesn't mean being rude. It means stating your boundaries and having people respect your boundaries. So, so we don't avoid conflict, but not by not setting boundaries. And I think she respects my boundaries, and I respect her own boundaries, and we avoid. And I do not try to impose what I think, what I want on somebody. You know, we talk about things, we have different opinions, but that doesn't mean conflict. So, Izzy, what do you think?
Disclaimer: Lipton is not sponsoring this show, so let's go on.
Oh,
Lipton, because that's what I'm drinking. They're not
yeah,
sponsoring this
now
show
I
because
think I need to drink some water.
I need water. I ran down the staircase now. Okay, so conflict. If I ever feel that she has done something that I didn't like, um, I probably find it out and it right. But even if it was so bad, I would wait and I'll still talk about it with her. Because, like I said, she always holds space for me, right? To air my views. And I think that regardless of how someone takes you, it's important to realize what is important to that person. When I came into the family, everybody used to call older people auntie or dad. I'm like, huh, excuse me, no one's my auntie. So I'd rather not call you by name, so I don't call you auntie, right?
I noticed that.
But as yes, but as time went on, I realized that she had earned that title. So I'm very comfortable with calling her, oh, Auntie Jama, this. Before I'm like, no, you're my auntie. But
I
I
I
remember
noticed
once,
that you will talk to me without calling me anything.
yes. So I'd rather not call you that auntie because I wasn't comfortable with it than call you something you are not comfortable with. That way, everybody has peace.
Yeah.
But I remember one time, Auntie Ngo called me and said, hey, did I just call her own sister Ijoma just like that? Hey, Ezikwana, I know you grew up in Enugu. Anima, she said it nicely, but let me just put it, him and Enugu, you people don't have respect. People that grew up in Enugu and Anambra, you people don't have respect. But you see, in Imo, so where I grew up, we used to call bro and sis, like from my cousins. I'm from Imo State as well,
Mhm.
right? So, but the whole auntie thing didn't just go down well with me. I'm like, even my cousins that were like maybe over 40. Okay, let's call her Auntie Joma. Or was it Auntie Joma in school? I think so. But I don't know. I'm also my uncle says I'm mildly stubborn. I'm softly stubborn, discreetly stubborn. I'm very stubborn, but people don't know. So maybe that's one of the reasons why I couldn't get into the anti vibe. But now I'm good with it. I've also grown. Maybe with age comes wisdom. So back to the main question. I don't think we've ever had conflict, and even in as much as my husband and I don't see things on the same page, if I have to resolve conflict with someone and I discuss it with him, he always helps me see things from a different view and a very wise view. So I've never had any, I don't think I've had any issue. The only thing I've told him is I don't like the fact that you're not giving out as much as you should. I think that's the only thing I've ever complained to him about.
Okay, that I
Yeah.
don't just like you said before, that I have so much to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember you encouraged me to serve in my church. You should. I said sometimes I'll talk to her. I think I'm being drawn to the youth, to children,
Yeah.
to young people. She said, yes, 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 yes. You need to speak to young people. You need to be with young people. You need to teach. You need to do this.
Yeah, because you see things on like many older people would see it, right? If
You called me an older person. Ah,
again.
don't worry, I'm joking.
So yeah, we've never had conflict that bothered me so much. The only thing is that if I
Mhm.
have conflict with any other person, self, she's probably the one or my husband that I'll go to resolve it for me.
Yeah. So, yeah, even the thing about not calling auntie or not, I noticed it. I remember sometime I called your house, and when your husband asked you, he's on the line, you said it's Ijom. And I know one thing about sometimes Anambra people who grew up around, and sometimes in front of you, they will call you sister or auntie. And when they are talking about you when you are not there, they're describing, talking to you, to somebody about you, they call you your name. You know, I said, if this one doesn't want to call, there's nothing I can do about it. It's not going to be a problem, you know. But I noticed that these days you're much more comfortable calling me Auntie Jama, whatever. But
And I think
even
the
if
I
you
think
say
the most beautiful thing is that my husband for one day never said, "You see this person, you call them auntie. You see that person, you call
mm,
them uncle." He never
yeah, that
for
will create
one day tried
resistance.
to push me.
Yeah, that will create resistance because when somebody tries to force you to do something, I can be kind, I can be nice, but what I don't like is somebody imposing something on me. The moment you try to impose it on me, even if you're right, even if whatever, I don't know,
Yeah.
automatic rebellion just grows in me. So don't impose anything on me. And that is why I don't like imposing anything on people. So I think this is the last question. Okay, the last one is. Ngo said, um, yeah, Ebere said, exactly. When you grow up in Enugu, it's a bit difficult. You know, yeah, it's a bit difficult because Anambra Enugu people, they will respect the people, just like Ngwa people. Ngwa people will call, even the one that is older than them with 1 year in their family, they will call dada,
Mm.
they will call you everything. But your mates outside, the mate of the person you call dada outside, they don't care who you are. So people who grew up in Anambra, Enugu, they find it really, really difficult. And one thing we know is that even people from other tribes, they think Igbo people don't have respect. And in Igbo, they say Igbo ameze,
Yeah.
you know. Igbo ameze, if you are a king, it is in your own house. If you're not the king in my own home, hey, because you and your kingship should just go and rest, you know. So it's okay. And I hope you had fun watching us today. This is the last question. Okay, no, sorry. Ngozi said, Ami, that's my younger sister. She said, I make better soups than the two of you. Ah, but let me just point out one thing. She learned from her own sister-in-law, her brother's, her husband's sister,
Anti-faith.
Auntie Faith. Yes, she learned from her a special way of making vegetable soup, and then she talked me through it over the phone. And each time I make vegetable soup like that, I never ever go wrong.
Are you
You
serious?
know,
Come and teach
yes,
me. Oh.
vegetable soup with spinach is not even with a normal vegetable. Ugu, you do it with
Mm.
spinach and it's always good. So, Faith, I want to thank you for teaching my sister and for her to teach
You did
me.
not say anti-faith though.
Eh?
You did not say anti-faith.
No, I don't call her Auntie Faith. I call her Faith.
Eh, really?
You people forget. I am 9 years older than you. I am 5 years older than Ngozi. I am closer to Faith's age than both of you. So,
Oh, sorry. Oh.
so both of you call her Auntie Faith, and I call her
Yes.
Faith.
Okay, Alam.
Yeah. No, but when we talk and when other people are around Auntie Faith, if I want to say, I'll say, okay, Auntie Faith said this or whatever. When I talk with her, I say Faith. Okay, so Faith,
Okay.
thank you for teaching my sister how to cook that special vegetables. And you know one thing about us, we really give honor where honor is due. You understand? I appreciate the fact when I told my sister, she said, wait, look, I learned a lot of things from my sister-in-law. She cooks like this, she cooks like that. I would say, please come and, what did she tell you? Yeah, come and explain to me. And I've never gone wrong with vegetable soup, cooking it Faith's way. That is Faith's vegetable soup. So, Faith,
You
if you're watching this, just know that each time I cook a good vegetable soup, I think of you, I pray for you, and I bless you.
you've actually emphasized something for me. I've been telling myself recently that I enjoy my mom's cooking so much, but I don't know how to cook like her. So I need to.
Mm.
I've been wondering why I did not learn how to cook from my mom, or why I don't cook as good as my mom. So I need
It
to go
comes
back.
from it comes from practice.
Mm.
One other thing is that you call her, tell her, okay, talk me through the steps. Okay,
Yeah, I
because
remember.
sometimes you know how to do
Yeah.
something, but there's a method. Like I did not even know I could fry onions with spinach apart, with palm
Mm.
oil, with crayfish before I put it into the stock. And when I tried that method, it gave me a completely new taste. A complete new taste. Hey, see me and grandma. Because Ezia, we have to close this before I start showing
Completely new. You are correct the first time now.
you see
But you
me.
know the problem is that when we speak English, we try to over grammarize the English. Like
Yeah,
my current role involves writing, so I'm learning to be a better writer.
yeah.
Completely new. If
Mm-hmm.
it's new, it can't be completely new again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's new.
Yeah.
Like
So
there's
even the
something
person wasn't even
like
correct.
saying brand new, like saying brand new.
Yeah.
It can't be brand new. If it's new, it's new.
Yes. Oh my God. So I
So
had
yeah,
fun with you, Ezinne. So I think you have
I
to
did.
you really have to come on board. This introduction is just an introduction to let people know we can have fun on this channel talking about things. You know, it's your first time on my channel, and thank you for coming. Thank you for helping me with this first live
Please
stream.
send me my
I was
honorarium. Oh.
terrified. What?
Send me my honorarium.
Don't worry, we will become rich. When I become rich, you're already rich now.
Oh my god.
So thank you very much, Az. And I also had this opportunity to show everyone what I've got. Okay.
Yes,
So
okay.
yeah, I love you, and I pray that God would give us my two younger brothers who are yet to get married. I just pray that God will
It's
give my
quiet too.
brothers, yeah,
Yet to.
yet to.
Hmm.
Hey, biko kwa ezi, biko hapo kwa kama na English now. What do you want to
No,
say?
no, 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 no. It's not. It's not the English. It's not the English. Say your two younger brothers are yet to get married.
Yes.
I don't think so.
One is engaged. He's
I
not married yet.
disagree.
What? Are they married?
No,
Because
I disagree. Eh?
did they marry and I didn't know about it?
I thought that was an Ikwaka they did.
Yes, he is engaged,
Oh yeah, still
but he's not
engagement.
married yet. Engagement is
Okay.
different from marriage now. He's not married.
I just feel like if you've done Ikwaka, what else is the meaning?
It's remaining to do the rights, get to the end.
Okay, okay. Let me rephrase. I feel like if you've taken your people to meet the
Mm-hmm.
girls' people, I know
Mm-hmm.
people still don't go ahead with it all, sha, but still a
Yeah.
bit old school in that direction. Like if I've agreed that your people
It's
should come to my
introduction.
people, yes, it's
It's
introduction. But I feel
introduction.
like
It is not binding yet.
yes, it's true. But I'm still old school because for me, before I agree that your people will come to my people, I made up my mind that this
Mm-hmm.
is it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've not taken a vow before God and man and said, you've not said, okay, I want him to start coming, but he is not my husband yet. Because right now he can't call her his wife, she can't call him her husband. So I just pray that God will bless us with more wives, bless me with more sisters in law like you. And
I'm a very jealous lover. Let me say it now. Anybody that takes my
do
place,
you know, I thought about it one
Dinner.
day. I thought
Ah,
about it one day. I was telling myself, look, I have to really be careful when my other brother gets married. I have to be careful with Ezinne because she might think the other girl is trying to steal me away from her.
I said my own, sha.
Don't worry, there's space for everyone. Love multiplies. And you being the first wife, open your heart and love, bring her in. Let us baby her. Let us baby them. Don't worry, you'll be all right.
Oh God.
You'll be all right. Don't
You
worry.
said you
Love
need
must
to coach me
fly.
on tradition too. No, I
What?
think I understand tradition. It's just that I feel like if you've agreed to that your people should meet, then that means you've
Mhm,
made up your mind. But then I thought
mhm.
about it and I'm like, but people still split after that. So it's
Yeah.
really not
Even in
binding.
marriages, people split. So these days.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, so let's just hope that before the end of next year, Ngo, if you're listening to me before the end of next year, you become a part of the family. Okay?
Is
So
her
no
name
shame in
Ngozi?
coming. We love you already. Huh?
Is her name Ngozi?
Oh, you didn't even know.
No, I've seen her
The name
several
of
times,
your
but I
new
didn't know her name.
sister-in-law is Ngozi.
No,
You
she's not
have
my
to.
sister-in-law yet. Oh. That's what people said. The name of my
Mhm.
hopefully soon-to-be sister-in-law is
Yeah,
Ngozi.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So thank you all for everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun with us. And
You guys
with
can watch the
time,
replay. Oh. Una no vex.
yes, yes, because we had fun from beginning till the end, and I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for watching. God bless you. Remember to share with your friends. Remember to subscribe if you've not subscribed. Comment, like, and do all the good stuff. Okay. God bless you so much. Thank you. Mwah!
All right. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Okay, let's wait a bit before we close because I don't know whether it is arriving so that I don't close and it cuts the video in half. All right.
Mm.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Bye.